trying to do here is one of the very, very commonly found body languages. Somebody doing this, if you've observed what I'm doing with my hands. It can convey a lot of message, a lot of meaning. And if it's taken in the right attribute, it makes a lot of sense. So with that, I would like to begin my speech. Distinguished guest, Toastmaster of the day, and fellow Toastmasters. Based on the surveys that have been conducted and enough of research that's been done, it's been said that communication can be broken down to two pieces, verbal and non-verbal. The verbal content is how you use words and what tone you use to convey them. So the tone carries 40% of scoring. The words that you use count for 10%. And on the non-verbal side, 50% which is attributed to communication is body language. So body language, if you have analyzed the numbers, takes the biggest percentage of any communication, making the communication very successful. To drive home the point of body language, I want to use a small story. A story where a group of people belonging to a team went out to do team building exercise. The team building was done in the Singapore Zoo. Normally, what would happen when we are doing a team event is we would have people coming in from India, coming in from Thailand, coming from here, coming from there. There are a lot of people coming from everywhere else. So as soon as you get there, you want to chit-chat, 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 chit-chat. So that was happening. So there were a lot of team members, but they were seeing each other after a long time. So they all convened at the location at the right time. So the first thing the guy did was, he used his body to draw attention. He used his body and the sound the body makes to bring attention to the crowd. As soon as the team gathered, he wanted to show them some exhibits that were done by children as a part of their activity in the zoo. So he took them over, and these children were blind. The children who did the exhibits were blind. So when blind people cannot see, they have to experience. So what was happening was the guide or the person who was actually handling the session, he conveyed to the group that the children were able to make a form based on the description given by a person verbally, because they couldn't see. So there was no body language attribute to that. But what it meant to the recipients of that, which were the team members as audience, was how effectively that person was able to convey to the children and how that can actually translate to use of body language. For example, we all know that giraffes stand very tall. But when giraffe stands tall, we don't know what is the exact length of the neck. Somebody can say the neck goes from my waist till over my head. Or if I were to make the giraffe sleep on the floor, it would go from side to side, anywhere from 1 meter to 3 meters. Then also he said, how long can the length of giraffe's tail be? It could be 1 meter, 1.5, or 2, 2.5. So he used these examples to show how you can use your body language to communicate some measures, which is in this case measure of height or measure of length. He also went ahead and told how another group of children who were not blind came out with expressing how animals felt. So there was a monkey exhibit which was doing this. It's a very thoughtful gesture. So what the team understood was body language is very important in communication. How you use it, where you use it makes a lot of sense. So after this small trip, they all came back to the office and a team meeting was there. Like many of you, they were sitting, some were standing because it was overcrowded and so on and so forth. And one of the team members had an opportunity to present to the team. So he went to the board and talked about his project, which was this, so on and so forth and all that. So one of the team members, he had one of his friends, because he was doing, for the first time, he was very nervous. So he's one of his friends. So the guy kept saying, good, good. You know, he couldn't talk to the guy, but he was making that gesture very good. So he was getting positive response. You know, good job. Then we had somebody who was like that. You know, closed, body language is closed, which means that he's not receiving what he's saying, and the facial expression added to the body language is very strong, not at all interested. Then we had somebody who's same posture, but facial expression is different. So in that session, there were 3 people communicating with each other or saying what they felt about a particular topic using body language. No verbal at all. It was completely body language. So what happened to that was, there was this guy who was just, you know, the presentation is happening. So normally when a presentation is happening, everybody is focusing here. And there was somebody who was like lost in thought. Closing eyes, lost in thought. Blissful. He's just closing his eyes, he's not in this world, he's lost somewhere else. Probably thinking of the zoo or his family or whatever. So in summary, body language is a very key attribute of communication. In formal communication, body language plays a part. Even in informal communication, body language plays a part. But the only cap to body language is, please don't read it outside of a context. For example, if I'm standing under the aircon and I'm feeling like this, it's not that I'm cold or I'm afraid of things. It's just because, you know, the aircon is too strong. Somebody may feel, if I'm doing this in a zoo, it shows that I'm fearful of a lion or whatever. But in an office, the same posture can mean I'm too cold. So body language has to be understood in the right context. With that, I end my session. Thank you so much.